Tensions erupt across Australia as protests over immigration spark clashes and arrests. But here's where it gets controversial. The same rallies that demand taking back the country also hide a tangled web of misinformation, fear, and political agendas. Let's break down what unfolded today and why this issue is dividing the nation. A nation at odds. Across major cities, anti-immigration demonstrators and counter-protesters faced off in heated confrontations. The March for Australia movement, which has gained traction in recent months, saw thousands of people take to the streets, waving Australian flags and chanting slogans laced with profanity. Among the crowd were far-right figures like neo-Nazi Thomas Sewell, who spoke at a Melbourne rally, and prominent politicians such as One Nation's Pauline Hanson and Malcolm Roberts. But here's the twist. While the organizers claim to focus on immigration, critics argue these events are being hijacked by extremists with unrelated agendas. When peaceful protests turn violent, though most gatherings remained non-violent, police were forced to intervene in several cities. In Melbourne, 6 people were arrested for alleged assault, riotous behavior, and resisting officers. Adelaide saw 3 arrests, while Sydney police reported 1 arrest during a pro-Palestinian protest that coincided with anti-immigration demonstrations. Officers deployed in large numbers, using pepper spray and forming barriers to separate opposing groups. Despite the chaos, authorities described most demonstrations as generally well-behaved, though tensions flared in hotspots like Brisbane's Roma Street Parklands and Melbourne's Collins Street. The fear behind the fury. Experts warn that misinformation is fueling these protests. Many demonstrators blame immigrants for rising living costs and housing shortages, but demographers like Liz Allen from ANU argue this narrative is deeply flawed. Fear of being left behind is a powerful emotion, she explains. When people feel hopeless, they grasp at scapegoats, even if the real issues are economic policies or infrastructure failures. This raises a critical question. Are these protests truly about immigration, or are they a symptom of broader societal frustrations? Controversial voices and hidden agendas. The involvement of far-right leaders like Thomas Sewell has sparked outrage. While the March for Australia claims to reject extremism, Sewell's presence and his attempt to brand the rallies as his own has muddied the message. Similarly, Pauline Hanson's fiery rhetoric, including her infamous "take you to the airport" remark, has drawn criticism for stoking division. Attempts to hijack this movement for other causes are not in its spirit, a March for Australia spokesperson insisted. But if the movement's core is to unite against immigration, why do its loudest voices seem more interested in promoting hate? What's next? As the dust settles, the debate is far from over. With pro-Palestinian protests overlapping with anti-immigration marches, the lines between causes have blurred. Meanwhile, the government's condemnation of the rallies contrasts sharply with the protesters' demands for policy change. This clash of ideologies leaves one question lingering. Is this a legitimate call for reform, or a dangerous shift toward extremism? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear if you see this as a fight for national identity, or a warning sign of deeper societal fractures.